Hello and welcome to Study with Sri. Here I am covering Indian polity by M. Lakshmikant chapter wise. Moving forward to the topic of Comptroller and Auditor General of India. I started the constitutional bodies in my previous video and I have covered the Election Commission of India. So what is the role of Comptroller and Auditor General of India? So in Constitution of India, Article 148 provides for an independent office of CAG. Article number is 148. Next, he is the guardian of public purse and controls the entire financial system of the country at both the levels, that is center and the state. So, CAG is guardian of the public purse. Next, control the entire financial system of the country, that is both levels, the center and the state. Now, his duty is to uphold the Constitution of India and laws of Parliament in the field of financial administration. This is the reason why Dr. B.R. Ambedkar said CAG shall be the most important officer under the Constitution of India. So, who is the most important officer under Constitution of India? His answer is CAG. He is one of the bulwarks of democratic system of the government of India. So, he is act as a wall of democratic government of India. The others being Supreme Court, Election Commission, UPSC. Now, moving forward to CAG's appointment and term. CAG is appointed by the President of India and he take his oath and affirmation before the President. Next is, he holds his office for a period of 6 years or up to the age of 65 years, whichever is earlier. So, the tenure is mentioned in the Constitution that he holds his office for a period of 6 years or up to the age of 65 years. Next, CAG can give resignation letter to the President at any time. Okay? He can also be removed by the President on the same grounds in the same manner as the Judge of Supreme Court. In other words, he can remove the President on the basis of resolution passed to that effect by both houses of Parliament with a special majority. तो ये वाला केस कब arise होगा? Either on the ground of proved misbehavior or incapacity. Okay? So, three most important point. First, he can resign at any time from his office by addressing the resignation letter to the President. Second, he can also remove from office as same ground as the Supreme Court and removed by the President. Third is, he can remove by the President on the basis of a resolution. एक resolution अगर passed होता है to that of effect by both houses of Parliament, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, with a special majority. On ground क्या रहेगा? Misbehavior and incapacity. Now moving forward to the independence of the CAG. So the Constitution of India had made the following provision to safeguard, मतलब to save the and ensure the independence of CAG. He is provided with security of tenure. Security of tenure provide कर दिया गया 65 years or 6 years. Next, he can be removed by President only in accordance with the procedure mentioned in the Constitution. Thus, he does not hold his office till the pleasure of President. तो ये याद रखना that CAG does not hold his office till the pleasure of the President. Like Election Commission. Election Commission does not hold office till the pleasure of President. Same as CAG, okay? Though he is appointed by President. Now next is, he is not eligible for further office. Very important that CAG is not eligible for further office either under Government of India or any state after he ceases to hold his office. At the time of Election Commission of India, we saw that the Constitution does not mention that election commissioner either eligible for further office or not. But in CAG, here clearly mentioned that he is not eligible for further office either under his Government of India or any state. CAG का जो salary है and other service condition है are determined by the Parliament. Salary and service condition determine कौन करेगा? President, Parliament. And appoint कौन करेगा CAG को? President. His salary is equal to that Judge of the Supreme Court. Okay? Next is, neither his salary nor his rights, salary or rights in respect of leave of absence, pension or age of retirement can be altered to his disadvantage after his appointment. मतलब इसका मीनिंग है CAG का जो सैलरी है and the rights provided by the constitution and leave of absence, pension, age of retirement, ये सब जो कैग में एक कैग अपॉइंट हुआ एंड उनको जो जो प्रोवाइड किया गया आफ्टर हिज अपॉइंटमेंट, ये सब रिड्यूस नहीं किया जाएगा. ओके, डिसएडवांटेज नहीं मिलेगा. ठीक है. द कंडीशन of service of a person serving in Indian Audit and Accounts Department and the administrative power of CAG are prescribed by the President after consultation with the CAG. So the condition of service of a person, condition of a service of a person, कौन सा person serving in an Indian Audit and Account Department and the administrative power of the CAG prescribed by the, prescribe कौन करेगा, President after consultation with the CAG. Next is the administrative expenses of his office of CAG including all salaries, allowance, pension of person serving in that office are charged upon the consolidated fund of India. Thus, they are not subject to the vote of the Parliament. Further, no minister can represent the CAG in Parliament, both houses, and no minister can be called upon to take any responsibility for any action done by him. It means that like Finance Commission is represented by our Finance Ministry, Nirmala Sitharaman. But in case of CAG, no minister can represent the CAG in Parliament or in state legislature. Now, duties and powers of CAG. So, the Constitution under Article 149 authorizes the Parliament to prescribe the duties and powers of the CAG in relation to the accounts of Union and of state and of any other authority or body. So, the Constitution under Article 149 authorize कर रहा है Parliament को to prescribe duties, कि Parliament can prescribe the duties and power of the CAG in relation to the accounts of Union and the state and of any other authority or body. Accordingly, Parliament enacted CAG's Duties and Powers Condition of Service Act 1971. तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन अंडर आर्टिकल 149 ऑथराइज कर रहा है पार्लियामेंट को कि पार्लियामेंट कैन प्रिस्क्राइब ड्यूटीज एंड पावर ऑफ कैग एंड फॉर दिस पार्लियामेंट इनैक्ट किया द कैग्स ड्यूटीज एंड पावर्स एंड कंडीशन ऑफ सर्विस एक्ट 1971. दिस एक्ट वाज अमेंडेड इन द ईयर ऑफ 1976 टू सेपरेट अकाउंट्स फ्रॉम ऑडिट इन द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट. सो ये जो एक्ट है वो अमेंड किया गया था 1976 में. क्यों? Not to separate accounts from audit in central government. Now the duties and function of the CAG as laid down by the Parliament and the Constitution are, तो duties क्या क्या है CAG का? First है he audits the accounts related to all expenditure from the Consolidated Fund of India. Consolidated Fund of India का जितना भी expenditure है ये audit करता है CAG. And Consolidated Fund of each state and Consolidated Fund of each Union Territory. कौन सा Union Territory का? जिसके पास Legislative Assembly होगा, having a Legislative Assembly. Now he audits all expenditure from the Contingency Fund of India and the Public Account of India as well as the Contingency Fund of each state and the Public Account of each state. So first he audit accounts related to Consolidated Fund of India, Consolidated Fund of each state, Consolidated Fund of Union Territory having Legislative Assembly. Second, audits all expenditure from the Contingency Fund of India and the Public Account of India as well as the Contingency Fund of each state and the Public Account of each state. And he audits all trading, manufacturing, profit and loss accounts, balance sheets and other subsidiary accounts kept by Department of Central Government and State Government. So, he audits all trading, manufacturing, profit and loss accounts, balance sheet and other subsidiary accounts kept by the any department of central government and state government. He audits the receipt and expenditure of center and each state to satisfy himself that the rules and procedure in that behalf are designed to secure an effective check on the assessment, collection and proper allocation of revenue. So, CAG audit कर रहा है the receipts and expenditure of the center and each state to satisfy himself, जो खुद को satisfy कर रहे हैं that the rules and procedure in that behalf are designed to secure an effective check on the assessment, collection and proper allocation of revenue. He audits the receipts and expenditure of the following. कौन सा होगा? All bodies and authorities substantially financed from the center or state revenues. First, all bodies and authorities substantially financed from the central or state revenue. Second, government companies. Third, other corporation and bodies when so required by related laws. He audits all transactions of central and state government related to debt, sinking funds, deposits, advances, suspend accounts and remittance business. He also audits receipts, stock accounts and others with approval of the president and when required by the president. Next is he audits the account of any other authority when requested by the president or governor. For example, the audit of local bodies. So if president or governor request, then he can audit any other authority. He advises the president with regard to prescription of form in which account of center and the state shall be kept. So CAG advises the president with regard to prescription of the form in which accounts of center and the state shall be kept. This is under Article 150. Second, he submits his audit reports relating to accounts of center to president, who shall in turn place them before both houses of parliament. This is under Article 151. So CAG किसके पास audit report submit करता है relating to accounts of center to president के center में president के पास, and he submits his audit reports relating to accounts of state to governor and state में governor के पास. So president in turn plays before the houses of parliament under Article 151 and governor plays them before the state legislature, that is Article 151. He ascertains and certifies that the net proceeds of any tax or duty, that is Article 271. He ascertains and certifies the net proceeds of any tax or duty. So CAG ascertain कर रहा है और certify कर रहा है the net proceeds of any tax or duty. What is net proceeds of any tax or duty? The net proceed means proceeds of tax or a duty minus the cost of collection. So कॉस्ट ऑफ कलेक्शन जितना हो रहा है उससे अगर टैक्स को हम लोग माइनस कर देंगे तो दैट इज नेट प्रॉफिट्स एंड हीज सर्टिफिकेट इज फाइनल. ओके, ही एक्ट्स एज अ गाइड, फ्रेंड, फिलोसोफर ऑफ द पब्लिक अकाउंट्स कमिटी ऑफ द पार्लियामेंट. तो CAG acts as a guide, friend and philosopher of the public accounts committee of the parliament. He compiles and maintains the accounts of state government. So CAG compile कर रहा है and maintain कर रहा है the accounts of state government. In 1976, he was relieved of his responsibilities with regard to compilation and maintenance of accounts of central government due to separation of accounts from audit, that is departmentalization on accounts. So CAG compile कर रहा है and maintain कर रहा है the accounts of state government. 1976 में he was relieved from his responsibility से उनको relief मिल गया था with regard to the compilation and maintenance of the accounts of central government due to separation of accounts. क्यों ना separation of accounts हो गया था from audit, that is departmentalization of accounts. The CAG submit 3 audit reports. Very important. CAG submit 3 audit reports to the president. First, audit report on appropriation account. Second, audit report on finance account. Third, audit reports on public undertaking. So CAG submit 3 audit report. First, audit report on appropriation account. Second, audit report on finance account. Third, audit report on public undertaking. The president lays these report before the both houses of parliament. So CAG submit किया president को. President lays these reports before the both houses of parliament. After this, the public accounts committee examines them. So पार्लियामेंट में सबमिट करने के बाद पब्लिक अकाउंट कमिटी जो होगा ही एग्जामिन्स देम एंड रिपोर्ट्स इट्स फाइंडिंग टू द पार्लियामेंट एंड रिपोर्ट करेगा पार्लियामेंट के पास. द एप्रोप्रिएशन अकाउंट्स कंपेयर द एक्चुअल एक्सपेंडिचर विद द एक्सपेंडिचर सैंक्शन बाय द पार्लियामेंट थ्रू द एप्रोप्रिएशन एक्ट. सो जो एप्रोप्रिएशन अकाउंट है वो कंपेयर कर रहा है द एक्चुअल एक्सपेंडिचर विद द एक्सपेंडिचर सैंक्शन बाय द पार्लियामेंट through the appropriation act, while the finance account show the annual receipts and disbursement of the union government, and the finance account show the annual receipts and disbursement of union government. So here I am discussing the funds of India mentioned in the constitution. So moving forward to the funds that are mentioned in Constitution of India. Constitution of India provides for the following 3 kinds of funds for the central government. First, Consolidated Fund of India mentioned in Article 266. Second, public accounts of India mentioned in Article 266. And third, contingency fund of India under Article 267. So, Consolidated Fund of India and Public Accounts of India mentioned in Article 266 and Contingency Fund of India mentioned in Article 267. Now, what is Consolidated Fund of India? It is a fund to which all receipts are credited and all payments are debited. So, Consolidated Fund of India is a fund in which all receipts are credited and all payments are debited. In other words, all revenues received by the government of India, all loans raised by the government by the issue of treasury bills, loans or way and means advances, and all money received by the government in the repayment of loans forms the Consolidated Fund of India. So, first, it is a fund to which receipts are credited and all payments are debited. Okay? That means that all revenue received by the government of India. First, all revenue received. Second, all loans raised by government of India by issue of loans raised by governments. Issue कैसे हो रहा है? Of treasury bills, loans or way and means of advances. Next, all money received by the government in repayment of loans forms the Consolidated Fund of India. So, all the legally authorized payment on behalf of Government of India are made out of these fund. So, जितना भी legally authorized payment है on behalf of Government of India are made out of Consolidated Fund of India. No money out of this fund can be appropriated, issued or drawn except in accordance with a parliamentary law. So, कोई भी money मतलब no money out of this fund can be appropriated, that is issued or drawn except in accordance with a parliamentary law. So, need for a parliamentary law to draw or issue the money. Next is public accounts of India. All other public money other than those which are credited to the Consolidated Fund of India received by or on the behalf of the Government of India. So all other public money means other than those which are credited to Consolidated Fund of India received by or on behalf of Government of India shall be credited to the Public Accounts India. मतलब कॉन्सोलिडेटेड फंड को अगर तुम छोड़ दो तो बाकी जितना भी मनी रिसीव हो रहा है बाय और ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया वो क्रेडिट हो रहा है टू द पब्लिक अकाउंट्स ऑफ इंडिया. दिस इंक्लूड्स प्रोविडेंट फंड डिपॉजिट, जुडिशियल डिपॉजिट्स, सेविंग बैंक्स डिपॉजिट, डिपार्टमेंटल डिपॉजिट, रेमिटेंस एंड सो ऑन. सो फर्स्ट इज Provident Fund deposit, second judicial deposit, third saving bank deposit, fourth departmental deposits and remittance and so on. This account is operated by executive action. Very important that public account of India is operated by the executive action. That is, the payments from this account can be made without parliamentary appropriation. We see in the time of Consolidated Fund of India, parliamentary appropriation is mandatory. But in the public account of India, the account operated by executive action, that is the payment from account can be made without parliamentary appropriation. Such payments are mostly in nature of banking transaction. Okay. Next, moving forward to the Contingency Fund of India. So, the Constitution of India authorized the Parliament to establish a Contingency Fund of India, into which amounts determined by law are paid from time to time. So, Constitution of India authorized कर रहा है Parliament को to establish a Contingency Fund of India, into which accounts determined by the law are paid from time to time. Accordingly, the Parliament enacted the Contingency Fund of India Act 1950. Okay, so for this Parliament enact कर रहा है Contingency Fund of India Act 1950. This fund is placed at the disposal of the President. Very important. This fund is placed at the disposal of the President, and he can make advances out of it to meet unforeseen expenditure pending its authorization by the Parliament. Suppose there is some unforeseen expenditure, so President can make advances out of it to meet those unforeseen expenditure pending its authorization by the Parliament. The fund is held by Finance Secretary on the behalf of the President. So इस fund को held कौन कर रहा है? Finance Secretary on behalf of the President. Like the Public Account of India, it is also operated by the executive action. Clear? So thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next videos.